What if I told you that women are deciding if you're diva based on your body language before you even finish your first sentence? Here are 50 silent, irresistible gestures that do all the heavy lifting for you. 1. Hey everyone, and let's get real for a second about what actually sparks attraction, because it's honestly not about the movies or those cheesy pickup artists formats tell you. Most guys think it's about having a six-pack, a fancy car, or dropping lines that sound like they were written by a poet from the 19th century. But here's the cold hard truth. Women are reading your body language way before you ever open your mouth. It's all about these subtle, almost microscopic gestures that signal confidence, safety, and masculine intent without being aggressive or desperate. When you master this, you ain't just acting cool, you're literally rewiring how your presence is perceived in any room you walk into. Today, I'm breaking down 15 specific nonverbal cues that trigger a psychological response in women, making you seem naturally, undeniably irresistible, and we're gonna dive deep into the science of why these tiny movements have such a massive impact on your daily life. 2. The first thing you need to understand is the power of the slow down effect when it comes to your hands and your overall movement profile. Think about how a man who is secure and comfortable in his own skin moves. He doesn't rush, he doesn't fidget, and his hands are never darting around like he's nervous or trying to prove a point. When you're talking to a woman, purposefully slowing down your gestures, whether you're gesturing to emphasize a point or just adjusting your posture, sends an immediate subconscious signal that you're a man who's in control of his environment. Nervous energy is the biggest attraction killer because it signals a lack of emotional regulation. But by choosing to move with deliberate, calculated slowness, you communicate that you're grounded. This ain't just about looking cool, it's about creating a sense of calm that she can lean into, making you a source of stability in her hectic day, which is an incredibly rare and attractive trait in today's chaotic world. 3. Let's talk about the eye contact bridge, which is a gesture that goes beyond just staring at someone, because staring can actually come off as creepy if you don't have the right follow through. The trick is to establish eye contact with a soft, genuine smile. Hold it for just a bit longer than is socially normal, and then this is the crucial part. Gently look away toward the side before coming back. This signals that you're confident enough to hold her gaze, but you ain't trying to dominate or intimidate her. In psychological terms, this is called soft intensity, and it makes a woman feel both seen and safe. It breaks the barrier between two strangers and creates a moment of intimacy that feels earned rather than forced. In your daily life, practicing this with everyone you speak to, not just women you're interested in, builds that muscle of social comfort so that when the moment counts, you ain't tripping over your own nerves. 4. Now consider the open chest posture, which is exactly what it sounds like, but most guys get it wrong by trying to puff their chest out like a bodybuilder, which actually looks insecure and defensive. What I want you to focus on is simply keeping your shoulders back and down, allowing your chest to naturally face the person you're talking to without trying to take up space aggressively. This is a vulnerability signal. It says, I have nothing to hide and I'm open to connecting with you. When you angle your entire body toward her, not just your head, you're giving her your full, undistinguished attention. And every role where anyone is glued to their phones or distracted by the next shiny object, giving a woman your complete open-bodied focus is a massive compliment that she'll feel at a visceral level. It shows you ain't checking for better options. You're present right here, right now with her. If you're already realizing how these small shifts change the game, smash that like button right now. It helps more men find this and master their presence. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the rest of these game-changing techniques. 5. A huge, often overlooked gesture is the respectful touch on the forearm, but you have to be super careful with the context here because it's all about the duration and the intent behind it. This ain't about being handsy, it's about a momentary freezing touch that lasts less than 2 seconds, specifically on the other forearm or the shoulder when you're laughing together or emphasizing a point. This gesture serves as a tactile bridge that moves your interaction from the purely platonic zone inside the realm of potential romance. It's a way of testing the waters and establishing physical proximity without crossing any boundaries. If she stays or if she mirrors that gesture back to you, it's a green light that she feels comfortable. It breaks the tension of the conversation and adds a layer of playfulness that makes you stand out from all the other guys who are too afraid to ever make a move. 6. Let's dive into the relaxed jaw technique, which sounds weird until you realize how much tension we hold in our faces during daily stress. Most men walk around with their jaws clenched, which triggers a subconscious fight or flight response in the people around them, making you look angry or stressed. When you consciously relax your jaw, your whole face softens, your eyes appear friendlier, and you project a sense of easygoing power. This is actually a biological signal that you're not under immediate threat, which makes you look much more approachable beautiful and frankly sexier when you combine a relaxed jaw with a slight knowing smile. You look like a man who knows a secret about life that everyone else is too stressed to notice. It's a simple biohack for your face that changes your entire vibe, making you the most magnetic person in any room because people naturally wanna be around someone who ain't radiating stress. 7. Another incredibly powerful move is mirroring. But again, you have to do this with finesse so it doesn't look like you're mocking her, because that would be the total disaster. Mirroring is simply the subconscious act of matching her energy level, her posture, and her pace of speech, which tells her I'm on the same wavelength as you. If she leans in, you lean in. If she lowers her voice, you lower yours. It's a powerful psychological tool that builds immediate rapport because we're hardwired to trust people who seem similar to us. When you mirror someone effectively, you're saying, I understand you and I feel comfortable with you. This drastically reduces the friction in a conversation and makes her feel like she's known you for much longer than she actually has, which is the cornerstone of building that irresistible connection we're talking about. Out of the 15 gestures we covered, which one do you think is the biggest game changer for a first impression? Drop your number one pick in the comments. I'm curious to see what you think. 8. You need to master the note of validation, which is about how you listen when she is speaking to you about her day, her thoughts, or her feelings, instead of just sitting there like a statue. Give her a slow, steady, and occasional nod while maintaining eye contact. This is your way of saying, I'm listening, I understand, and I'm following you. It's an active listening gesture that makes her feel valued, which is one of the most attractive things a man can do for a woman. When you're the guy who actually listens and validates her, you become the total outlier in a dating pool where most men are just waiting for their turn to talk. By showing her that you ain't just processing her words but are actually analyzing them, you create a deep sense of connection that most other guys will never achieve. 9. Let's discuss the pocket-free hand rule, which is a small but critical detail that changes how people perceive your confidence level. When you keep your hands in your pockets, you're essentially hiding your primary tools for interaction, which looks like you're trying to close yourself off or that you're bored. Keep your hands visible, relaxed at your sides, or actively using them for natural expression while you speak. Visible hands are a signal of honesty. It's an evolutionary trait that dates back to showing you and holding a weapon. It's a very primal way of saying I'm safe and honest. Plus, using your hands during conversation makes you look more animated, passionate, and energetic. It shows that you're invested in the conversation and that you have a personality that fills the space around you, which is undeniably attractive. 10. Another game changer is this side-to-side walk, which is how you physically navigate a space with her. rather than walking right in front of her or trailing behind. If you're walking through a park or a grocery store, try now stay slightly to the side, maybe a half a step ahead or behind, but keep your body angled toward her. This allows you to check in her throughout the walk, share moments of observation, and keep the conversation going without having to stop and turn around constantly. It's a collaborative way to move through the world together. It's subtle, but it completely changes the dynamic from following or leading to partnering. It's a very simple gesture that screams we're in this together, and it helps build that subconscious bond of companionship. 11. You have to learn how to use the pause before you speak gesture, which is a split second delay after she finishes talking before you respond. This small initial pause shows that you're actually thinking about what she said rather than just waiting for your turn to blast out your next rehearsed line. It adds weight to your words and shows that you ain't desperate for approval or eager to fill the silence. That silence is powerful. It shows confidence. It also gives you a second to frame a more thoughtful, interesting answer, which leads to better conversations and a fast-paced world. Being the guy who's comfortable with silence and who takes his time to respond makes you appear much more intelligent, grounded, and self-assured. Traits that women consistently find attractive. 12. Then there's the eyebrow flash, which has a micro expression that you do when you first greet her. A tiny, almost imperceptible laugh of the eyebrows. It's a classic universal sign of recognition and friendliness. It's not a dramatic wow expression, just a quick, welcoming flicker. The simple movement does wonders for breaking the ice because it immediately signals that you're glad to see her, which is a great way to start any interaction on a positive note. It's a low pressure, friendly, and warm. By using the eyebrow flash, you're basically giving her permission to be herself and to feel relaxed around you, which makes your entire presence feel inviting and safe from the very first second you make contact. Be honest, which of these signals have you been doing wrong this whole time without even realizing it? Let me know your aha moment in the comments below. 13. Think about the adjustment of the environment gesture, where you take a small step to make things more comfortable for her, like shifting a chair, moving an object out of the way, or making sure she has a clear path. It's a classic, slightly chivalrous gesture that shows you are aware of your surroundings and that you care about her comfort. It's not about being a servant, it's about being observant and taking charge in a helpful way. This kind of passive leadership shows that you're attentive to details, which is a rare quality. It demonstrates that you ain't just focused on yourself, but that you're conscious of how your environment impacts the people you're with, making you a much more considerate and attractive partner. 14. Finally, look at the genuine, unhurried smile, which is distinct from a polite social smile. A real attractive smile reaches your eyes, moves slowly across your face, and lingers just a bit longer than necessary. It's a smile that says you genuinely enjoy being in her presence. It's not a tool you pull out to be nice. It's an expression of your state of mind. And when you smile like this, it makes her feel special, as if the rest of the world has faded away and she is the only person who matters to you in that moment. It's incredibly disarming. It builds instant rapport, and it's the most natural, effective way to show your interest without having to say a single word. 15. To tie it all together. Remember that these gestures ain't about manipulating anyone. They're about amplifying who you already are and becoming the best version of yourself in the way you present to the world. It's about cultivating a persona of confidence, comfort, and genuine interest. If you practice these 15 gestures consistently in your daily life, you'll find that people, not just women, start reacting to you differently because you're emitting a new, stronger energy. You're showing that you're present, attentive, and secure. Keep these tools in your pocket. Use them naturally and don't overthink them. When you embody these traits from a place of authenticity, they become part of your natural charm, making you consistently magnetic to those around you and significantly more successful in your relationships. And now that you've got these 15 keys to being truly irresistible, don't keep them to yourself. Share this with a brother who needs to hear this today. And if you want to level up your entire social game, check out my full relationship mastery playlist right here. See you in the next one.